Ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to make this video today because Bitcoin has made some pretty good progress here. Some really good progress, actually. I kind of emphasized in prior videos. In fact, let me go to my YouTube page right here so I can show you. I emphasized in the video I did the other day that this was one of the biggest moments, or the biggest moment in 2024, and you needed to see this. That was the title right there. And I stand by that, right? Because we saw the monthly candle close and the weekly candle close. Both of those things we saw just a few hours ago here. So this video is fresh off the cuff of those closes, and the closes have been pretty bloody good. So let's get into it. First and foremost, what actually happened? Well, the monthly chart. We need to look into a trend we have in the monthly chart in order to understand what actually happened. Basically, what happens for Bitcoin historically, or at least what happened last cycle, is we formed the monthly candle close, the very high monthly candle close here in December 2017. And then we rejected from that very same level in 2019, and we rejected from it briefly as well in 2020. So the monthly chart, the monthly candle level that we actually closed at, the highest ever monthly candle level we had up until that point, was a very important macro resistance level. When we finally got above it, we entered a parabolic bull market and rallied quite strongly to the upside for 6 or 7 months until we reached a very high point. And of course, the bull market ended in November 2021. But ultimately, this level acted as kind of like a neckline of resistance for the entire pre-cycle or pre-new cycle region. Now, we've seen the same thing kind of happen here. We have the highest ever monthly candle level occurring here in November 2021. And although there was no real retest in the middle of the cycle, we did actually come up and very clearly form it as a resistance zone. That is not just a coincidence, okay? Because we can zoom in to the 4-hourly chart and we can see this yellow line right here, 61.2K. is the monthly chart line, and that very clearly acted as major short-term support on multiple occasions. So it's not just a coincidence that we closed right on top of it here in February. And now what we've actually done is we've gone ahead and closed a monthly candle above that resistance level. Now, let me be very clear. Last time that happened, we entered a parabolic rally to the upside. Could that happen again? It certainly could, okay? That's what we're kind of discussing today. Now, not only was the monthly chart level broken to the upside and closed above. So we've now seen, by the way, the highest ever monthly candle close that Bitcoin has ever seen. Even though we're still below all-time highs, we're still below 73K up here. We've seen the highest ever monthly candle close ever. And in that, we've also seen the highest ever weekly candle close ever, because the weekly chart and the monthly chart candle was closed at the same time today. So a similar story can be told about the weekly chart. So if we go back in the weekly chart, go to logarithmic, for example, and we look at price cycles, let's just wait for it to load in here. We look at where the highest weekly candle close was. You can see, again, just like this cycle, just like 2017, we had the highest ever weekly candle close right here in 2017. And if you zoom all the way through, you can see that area acted as a level of contention. And when we finally closed above it, we entered, again, a parabolic bull market. In fact, a very similar thing happened all the way in the price cycle before that, which was 2014, which is actually, by the way, the cycle we hold the most resemblance to right now. In fact, it happened in a cleaner fashion. In 2014, we came all the way up to that weekly chart level, rejected from it, saw a 30% correction, came up to it again, broke above it, came back down, resistance support flip, and then entered a parabolic bull market. So you can see that the weekly chart level, much like the monthly chart level, is a very, very major zone, and breaking above that level decisively, in 2014's case, actually coming back down and flipping it for support is what triggers the parabolic bull run, or one of the metrics that triggers it, right? I wouldn't say we're actually already in one, but further definitely emphasizes that bull run. And what have we seen? Again, we saw a weekly candle close above that weekly chart level after a brief 3 separate candle rejection. We closed above that level and we saw the highest ever weekly candle close as well as the highest ever monthly candle close. So this is excellent. Bitcoin has done 2 very, very good things. In fact, I would say these 2 things are the most bullish things that Bitcoin has done in 2024 from a macro scale. We have very clearly now decisively broken a couple of the foundational factors of the prior cycle all-time high resistance. We are not actually, we've broken above the actual price point, because the actual price of the 2021 all-time high was 68K, 69K. We've broken above that, and now we've also broken above the monthly chart and weekly chart level. Prior to today, you could have made the argument that right now we were seeing a deviation and we come back down and crash to a correction. But obviously you can't make that argument anymore, and that argument, in my opinion, was always a weak argument. I mean, I made that very clear in prior videos, so that was bullish here. So Bitcoin's done amazing things. And now the question is, well, the monthly chart and the weekly chart, the macro charts are looking great. What about the actual short-term charts? And here's where we get into the 4-hourly chart, and we can see that right now Bitcoin has this kind of cup formation, which was a threat for a little while, but we actually bounced to the upside, formed some sort of inverted head and shoulders pattern, bounced again to the upside, and now what we're doing is we're forming a bullish pennant formation right here, which is generally a bullish pattern that generally breaks to the upside, and we can generally expect with these kind of patterns to break to the upside, which would send us straight to new all-time highs. Now, on the occurrence that it does break to the downside, that would not have any effect on the macro stuff we just did. That macro chart, those macro charts still look very good. If it does break to the downside, we could very well see a situation like we saw, for example, in 2014, where we have, this break to the upside, but then coming back down and resistance support flipping. And even if we see that, that would not be bearish. So Bitcoin right now, I think, is in a good position. On the macro, and regardless of what happens in the short term, I think it's still in a good position. The only thing that would make me concerned about Bitcoin right now, on a medium-term scale, would genuinely be probably breaking below this yellow line. That would make me quite concerned, because that means that everything we've just seen in the last 24 hours was a major deviation and a fake out to the upside, which would be very unconventional. So I think right now Bitcoin's actually got some breathing room here, and that's great to see. But yeah, right now, what are we in? We're in a bullish pennant formation, which is great. Just looking at other charts, though, just to give you a quick dose of reality as well, right? The other charts that we need to look at here, in my opinion, are Bitcoin dominance and USDT dominance. Now, you might think, why would I look at USDT dominance? Well, I've been looking at quite a lot in the last couple of weeks, and I'll tell you why. USDT dominance is a pretty major chart, actually. It doesn't get much attention because it's not really always relevant. Right now, it is relevant. The last time I talked about it properly was over here, where we saw the breakdown of this line in October last year. And that was actually one of my triggers to start buying altcoins. I made that public on this YouTube channel. Because when this chart goes downwards, right, when USDT dominance goes downwards, that obviously means that people are deploying their USDT for crypto. So when this chart goes downwards, or when this chart looks bearish, that's very good for crypto. When this chart looks bullish, that's very bad for crypto. We broke down from the support line. I said that's great, and I said that would be the trigger of another rally, and that's exactly what we saw. If you look from where October 2023 was, it was around back here. We saw that rally bounce off 24K. That was a great prediction, and that was the last time we really used this chart. But right now we have to use it again, because right now this chart is on a 5-year-long support line. That's major, right? Because generally when you're sitting on support, what do? You bounce. Okay, and we haven't broken that support yet. And if we do bounce, that means the markets will get dragged down. So I'm very interested to see what will happen here. Now, as I said, if Bitcoin does bounce, it's not really a threat on a macro scale, but this is a very interesting chart to look at. I would have loved to have seen this chart break down at the same time as Bitcoin breaking the monthly and weekly chart levels. That would have been great to see, but unfortunately we didn't see that. So this chart is still at a major point of contention, and so is the Bitcoin dominance chart. The Bitcoin dominance chart has a major resistance line stemming back from 2016 that has been all the way through. It's come all the way through to now. We're still rejecting from that level. Now, it would be great actually to reject from that level fully so we can enter an altcoin season. But right now, the fact that we're still kind of playing around with that level is what it tells us really is that something big has happened. Something big is going to happen that has not happened yet. And that's a little bit scary when we just see all these bullish indicators flashing. Seeing these charts still not really making up their mind is not really ideal. Hopefully what happens here is that Bitcoin breaks the upside, breaks all-time highs, this chart breaks down as well as this chart breaks down. That would be great to see, because that would be all of the conventional metrics of a bull market, or further confirming a bull market, but right now we just haven't seen that, unfortunately. So what I'm saying is that Bitcoin's price charts look great. We've seen absolutely phenomenal process here on the monthly and weekly charts. It's undeniable. 4-hourly charts, short-term charts don't look that bad at all, in my opinion, at this point. We do have literal threats forming, like could be a head and shoulders, for example, but we'll find that out tomorrow, right? If we break this formation to the upside, look, it's very clearly Bitcoin's going to all-time highs. We'll just wait for this formation to break before we make any assumptions there, and that's what I'll discuss tomorrow in tomorrow's video, because it would have happened by then, I assume. But yeah, these charts here, Bitcoin dominance, USDT, these are charts that I'm kind of looking at right now. They're my main concerns at this point. Now, obviously, last week we had some issues with ETF inflows. You could see ETF inflows went net negative for about 5 days straight, which is the most bearish period of inflows we've ever seen. But they've come back into the positive here, so that's great to see. Everything's kind of reset from that point. Again, we'll discuss that a little bit more in tomorrow's video. I do have a lot to discuss there. And in tomorrow's video as well, we might actually look into the halving, because the halving right now is rapidly approaching. We are in the halving month now. We're in April 2024. So a few things to look at tomorrow, but overall, great little update here today. Is great little process, great big process, I should say, on the macro charts. Great weekly candle, great monthly candle. Just a few things to be concerned about here in other charts, but right now they aren't pressing matters. What's happened here is undeniably bullish. So guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Check out the BitGet and BingX exchanges. BingX is global non-KYC, so you can sign up from anywhere in the world, and you can get access to very low trading fees and an exchange which has never been hacked before. The exact same can be said about BitGet, except BitGet is global KYC minus the USA. So if you're from the USA, use BingX, and if you're from anywhere else, you can use BitGet or BingX. It's your choice. Crypto Academy's bull market sales on right now as well. Learn how to trade with a university style course. Again, bull market sale for a limited time. Check out all the information below on the website. And then finally, check out the VIP group on Telegram. We trade altcoins on there four-ish times a week. 4 trading signals a week. The trading signals have been absolutely exceptional so far. We've been running this group for about 18 months, and we've got a 78.52% win rate with hundreds of trades of data to look at there. So check it out. Guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next video. Cheers.